And thank you. Well, the stock market hit a record high today, and Social Security will increase next year, but not quite as much as expected. Financial analyst Steve Budin joining us now in our financial focus segment. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm doing really well. How are
Excellent.
you?
Not too bad.
All right. Okay. Well, let's talk about the stock market high. Why should the average person care about what's happening in the stock market, even if they don't have active stocks?
Yeah, we'll start with some good news. So stock market hit a record high today. The Standard & Poor's 500, which is a lot of the numbers you see on the TV screen will put across the bottom, hit a record high today. Anybody who's got a 401k or somebody who's retired and living on a pension, a lot of those pension funds you're receiving are invested partly in the stock market. So the better the stock market does, the better your pension account or your 401k does. Everybody wins. So when it hits a record, I know I'm jinxing it now when I say this, but as of today, we hit a record high, which is always good.
Which is always good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk Social Security. Also on the rise, but the numbers were a little bit lower than expected, right?
Right. So the Social Security Administration every year announces around this time of year for the coming year how much it goes up. There's something called a COLA, cost of living adjustment. And they announced last week that it's going to go up about $24 a month, which is about half of what it was this year. So it's nice for the viewers to plan ahead because a lot of folks use that Social Security money to help pay their Medicare premium. So just nice to know you're going to be getting, on average, about $24 a month extra.
Does that fluctuate a lot year to year?
Yeah, it depends on the inflation rate. So depending on how high inflation goes, that's how they adjust Social Security so the retirees' purchasing power doesn't get eroded. And this past year, inflation was up about 2%, which is why the increase was fairly low.
Okay, well, and we always talk about scams, making sure people know what's going on right now. And a lot of people right now, if they're taking an airline, if they're going to a restaurant, they take to social media to either praise that company or complain about it. And you say that scammers are actually now targeting people's social media accounts.
Yeah, and they're calling this social engineering scams. And I hate to keep bringing these scams up, but like we were talking about, it's important for our viewers to know these go on. So you might go on vacation and you're going to post a picture that you're checking into a particular hotel. Hackers go in, they'll steal the data from these hotels, and they may get your cell number. And they're going to call Jackie and say, I'm from the bank, I need to reset your password because your card's been compromised, and I'm going to text you a code. And I do that right when every time you log into a website, you get that second verification code, so you don't think anything of it. You tell the person on the phone what your code is. That's a password reset code. They now go into your bank account, reset your password, and drain the account. So these thieves are getting more and more creative, and the hackers are getting better and better at using the information you post voluntarily against you. So the good rule of thumb is anytime you get a call from somebody you don't know, it's always safer to hang up, call back the institution that they're claiming to be from, and then if it is legit, you can take care of the business, but don't answer the first person that calls you.
Okay, Steve, amazing tips today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Sure.
for all of the good information.
Right.
And we'll be sure to put it all on our website at KTNV.com. More news and weather coming up after the break.